Hello everybody, it's Marcia with My Creative Scrapbook. I have another process video for you today using the October main kit. Now this kit included some gorgeous papers from the Crate Paper Fresh Bouquet collection, as well as some heritage papers, and it also included some wonderful cut files from Pear Tree Cut Files. But today, this is my fourth layout, and I wanted to do a layout that did not use cut files. I had an idea for this one to just use strips of paper for my background. I kind of think darker backgrounds are trending again, and so are torn edges. So I didn't have any complete sheets of pattern paper. I had used all my pattern papers in my previous layouts. So by using strips of papers here, I could make my own background here. So I have a torn edge from the blue dot paper that I wanted to adhere on here, and the script paper on the bottom. And I have this gorgeous floral pattern paper that I wanted to use in the middle of my layout. So I really liked how they all look together. I tried to stick with the blues that were in the pattern papers. I avoided the pattern papers that had more of a green background. So I did some more computer journaling for this layout, and I printed it off on some Nema paper. So it's a little bit thicker than a regular printer paper. I like to use the Nema papers for my card making. So I printed my journaling onto this paper, used a notebook edger punch at the top, and then I wanted to do lots of layers on this layout. So I found this another floral pattern paper, kind of matches some of the oranges in that floral print underneath it, and I just wanted to frame the journaling that I have here. And I thought it would be cute to stick this lighter pattern paper underneath the photo part to put a little bit more emphasis on the photo. And the first one I had in here wasn't long enough, so I found another one, and this one was too long. So I decided I would tear the edge again here on this one, and this kind of coordinates then with the blue paper that I also tore the edge of. So, and I really like how this is looking now. Now the other thing is I wanted to use the gold thickers that came with the kit, and I knew immediately I wanted to use the My Favorite on here. The picture I am scrapping today is of my cat Spook, and I fostered Spook when he was a kitten, and so this is Spook with his brother Jinx. So we went and got Spook from a local pound when he was, I would say, 3 weeks old maybe. And he was brought in with his brother and his mama, but I was fostering for a local rescue at the time, and they called me and wanted me to go get these kittens immediately because young kittens don't do well in the pound. They're prone to getting infections. Respiratory infections are very common. And so I went and picked these two up, but sure enough, they ended up getting extremely sick anyway, and we were very worried we were going to lose both of them. They weren't eating. We were up several times a night just pacing the floors, holding them, trying to comfort them, trying to get some chicken broth in them for nourishment with an eyedropper, and we were lucky that they both survived. So, but this little black kitten here is my Spook. After going through that experience with him, I couldn't let him go. I just had to keep him. And so I became a foster failure. He was foster failure number 2 for my rescues. The first one was first litter of kittens that I had ever kept. My daughter went back and adopted one. So the other thing I wanted to do with this layout is I wanted to use more of these gorgeous fussy cut flowers that I have. I just love these flowers and I wanted to use more of them on this layout. They're just gorgeous. I'm putting a little bit of foam tape on the leaves and on some of the buds on the flowers. I just wanted to pop them up a little bit. I didn't want them to be so flat on here. I went through the die cut ephemera pieces, but again, my layout's already busy with the fussy cut flowers that I want to put on here, that there was not all that much that I wanted to add in addition to that. There was a tag that I cut in half and I tucked in alongside my photo. There's a chipboard heart that I'm going to pull out later and stick on here as well. And that's basically all I wanted to do as far as embellishments. Since I have paper strips on my background, I did do some machine stitching around the edge of my layout. And I did this before adding all of these layers on here. So you'll be able to see maybe a little bit better in the close-ups at the end of my video what that looks like. But I really like the texture that machine stitching adds. And it doesn't take a lot of time like hand stitching does. And it just gives it a little bit more interest. My Creative Scrapbook has 4 kits that they put out every month. So this month I am working with the main kit. They also have a creative kit and a limited edition kit as well as an album kit. And they are all amazing. Please go check them out. They really have something for every kind of scrapbooker that you are. When I got to the bottom of the die cut ephemeras in my dish here, I found this really delicate butterfly that I had cut out from a previous kit, and I thought it would be beautiful on here. I wanted something delicate to go on here, so I glued this butterfly on just above the flowers in this cluster here by my tag, and that worked out really well. I have always loved the look of torn paper on layouts, so I just like to distress the edges of my pattern paper. So I'm going to do that here with the papers that are orange in color, the ones right underneath my photo. And I just think it adds a little bit more dimension and texture to the layout. To finish up my layout, I found some black twine that I could attach to my tag that I have tucked under my photo, but I didn't want to use my Bow Easy to tie a bow in this case. I wanted something just a little bit more fancy, and then I remembered I had these beautiful bows from an earlier Crate Paper collection. I think it was the Carousel collection. And I dug those out of my stash, and it was just the perfect thing to add on here. And that's my layout. Thank you so much for stopping by. Bye-bye now.